Okay. Good evening and welcome to Committee of the Whole meeting for the Town of Oxford for October the 11th, 2023. I'd like to call this meeting to order. First off, I'll get a copy of the agenda. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So approved.
Seconder?
Second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. First on the agenda tonight, number 3 is a presentation, Food Cycler Municipal Solutions, the Future of Waste Food. Our speaker tonight is Christina Zardo. She's the Director of Municipal Solutions, Food Cycle Science Corporation. Are you there, Christina?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much. Again, good evening, Mayor, members of council, staff, and any members of the public who are tuning in. My name is Christina Zardo. I'm here to discuss a residential solution to food waste. I'm just going to share my screen here quickly. All right, so Food Cycle Science is a Canadian company. We're based out of Ottawa, Ontario, and we're 100% focused on providing food waste diversion solutions. We do this using our innovative technology called the Food Cycler. It's an in-home food recycling machine. It's available to consumers through companies like Vitamix, to classrooms through not-for-profit organizations, to businesses, and of course, to municipalities through our Municipal Solutions division. Our municipal solutions help many small, rural, remote, and northern communities across Canada keep food waste out of their landfills. We're currently working with over 100 Canadian municipalities from coast to coast, all the way in BC. We have the city of Nelson. Up north in Northwest Territories, there's Hay River, and all the way to the east, we have Conception Bay South and Newfoundland. These communities often face challenges with waste management due to cost, size, geography, infrastructure, or environmental concerns. Now, the problem with food waste, first and foremost, is that it is avoidable. It accounts for so much of what's in our household food waste. It's made up of mostly liquid, which is heavy and freezes in the winter. And then on top of that, food waste in landfills is responsible for generating harmful greenhouse gases. All of these factors make it so that food waste is a problem that has a strong municipal impact. Now, one of these impacts to municipalities is that since there is so much food in what we throw away, it's causing our landfills to fill up quickly and our transfer stations to be overloaded with volume. Now, operating these things and closing and monitoring a landfill are costly endeavors, so we want to extend the lifespan for as long as possible. From the environmental standpoint, when we put food waste in a landfill and bury it in an environment that doesn't have air, it decomposes and creates methane gas, which is a really potent greenhouse gas and contributes to the impacts of climate change that we're seeing today. And then in our communities, when we have food waste in the garbage, it's heavy, it's smelly, it's an attractant for pests and other vermin. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from the audio. Is everything okay on your side?
The sound is good here.
Okay, perfect. My apologies. So when we remove food waste from the garbage, we reduce volume, we reduce costs, and we can save residents on trips to the waste site. Now, we get asked quite often, well, haven't we solved this already? Because there are solutions that exist today for food waste, like curbside collection of green bins, but this is a major expense to municipalities. It may be operationally challenging. You may not have the infrastructure. And then we have backyard composting, which is a wonderful solution, but the reality is that a small percentage of our population does this at home, and many people may lack the space, the know-how, the ability, or the desire to do this. Lastly, we can continue to landfill our organics, but the long-term impacts here, they're costly and harmful to the environment. So at Food Cycler, we've kind of proposed a different way to deal with our food waste that really focuses on making it easy to deal with and right in the home. We developed a small kitchen appliance about the size of a bread machine, where you put your food scraps into a bucket, and that includes almost every type of food scraps: meat, fish, dairy, poultry, even bones and pits, coffee grinds, you name it. It uses a combination of heat, air, and agitation to transform your food waste into a fertilizer. It does this in a matter of hours, 8 hours or less. And at the end, what you have that comes out is a nutrient-rich soil amendment. You can use your machine anywhere with a plug. Many people have it in their basement, right on the kitchen counter, a garage, or perhaps a shed. We do have 2 different types of devices available. One is our original FC30, which has been available for many years now, and our new Eco 5. The main difference is the capacity, so suited to larger households or smaller households. As I mentioned, the food waste will be reduced by 90% in weight and volume. It uses very little electricity, about the same as having a laptop plugged in for the same amount of time. And then at the end, your beneficial soil amendment can be used to enrich our soils, or can be used to accelerate existing composting systems. From an environmental standpoint, the food cycler is a net negative carbon solution. So what this means is that when you use the food cycler to avoid putting food waste in the landfill, you're avoiding more greenhouse gases than you are creating by using the food cycler, like electricity or the components of the device. Now, the same can't be said for systems that involve transportation, landfilling, and further operations. So just like planting trees or installing solar panels, you're saving more greenhouse gases here. Now, from an economic standpoint, the food cycler really focuses on decentralization, bringing food waste management right into the home, where you can generate your food waste, put it in the food cycler, and use it in your soil directly, versus the heavily burdened system having to bring it somewhere, transfer it, perhaps it becomes into compost, and then ultimately can get into the soil. Now, one thing that we've learned from working with our municipal partners is that their residents are really interested in being part of the solution. They want to try new things. They want options, and they want their government to bring these things to the community. So with the food cycler, you can bring something innovative but tangible to your residents. They don't need to live in a big city to have access to food waste diversion solutions. We really believe that all Canadians all year long should have access to food waste management options, no matter where you live. And then on top of the social pressures, some regulatory targets that may be coming into effect over the next few years, whether it's diversion of tonnage or diversion of greenhouse gases. So we want to understand what our low-hanging fruit is and what works for our community to get ahead of these things. So our municipal solutions work by deploying food cyclers into a community. And we've done this in over 70 municipalities and thousands of households. And the results have been overwhelmingly positive. We have 98% of people who, after using it for a 12-week period, say they're going to continue using it as their main food waste diversion option. High recommendation rate and a significant amount of net new diversion of waste being kept out of the garbage stream. We also have about 77% of people who say that by using the food cycler, I really became more aware of how much waste I was generating in the first place, and I've resolved to do less. So waste prevention is an interesting component of the program as well. Now, our company was recently announced as finalists in the Impact Canada Food Waste Reduction Challenge. This is a 3-stage initiative from the Government of Canada through AAFC that's intended to reduce our country's food waste through methods that are innovative and impactful. In this challenge, we've been awarded funding and tasked with finding Canadian municipalities as implementation partners. So we're using this funding to offset some of the costs of our program, which I'll get to very shortly. A pilot program runs for about 12 weeks. It starts with residents purchasing a food cycler from their municipality at a subsidized rate and using it for a period of 12 weeks, during which time they track the number of times they run a cycle. At the end of the 12 weeks, they get to keep their food cycler, of course, And they answer a brief exit survey where we calculate things like how much did we divert and ask questions like, well, do you like it? Are you going to continue using it? And we can really evaluate this as a viable solution for your community. So that gets wrapped up into a feasibility study for you and presented back to council so that you can have that information and use it to make future decisions about solid waste management. So our funded pilot programs work on a subsidy model. It starts by Food Cycle Science providing a discount, adding in the federal funding from Impact Canada to get the price reduced by 50%. We then ask that the municipality provides a subsidy per household to the tune of about $100, and residents pitch in the rest. This way, everybody has affordable access to a solution, but also everybody's got some skin in the game. They're invested in the program, and they really know that they're signing up for a pilot. For a community of your size, we would recommend a pilot program of about 50 households. So this would cost $5,000 plus shipping and of course taxes to run a small pilot program. We can of course tailor this to your needs or your budget. And so I thank you very much for having me. We would welcome you as an implementation partner in this challenge. I would ask that you kindly receive our presentation as information, and if interested in partnering on this funded program, to refer to staff to work on a council recommendation. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those now.
Hey, anyone have any questions for Christina?
I'll ask a question.
Are we still muted? No. Okay, go ahead.
What if someone were just to buy one? What if the town doesn't want to do the pilot project, but I want to buy one?
So any regular consumer can purchase a food cycler now. They're available at retail through a company called Vitamix. They're typically known as a blender company, and they go for $500 or $800.
Okay.
I have a quick question for you, Christina. When this thing's sitting on your counter and you've dumped the food waste in it and it's running through its cycle, where does that excess liquid go? Does it drain into your septic or sewage or?
No, there's no output. There's no draining. It's just a little bit of steam going into the ambient air, and it flows through a carbon filtration system to also remove odors, so it doesn't stink up your house.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have any other questions for Christina? Well, thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. We'll certainly discuss it.
Excellent.
And,
thank you so much.
Okay, have a good night now.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Minutes, you've got a set of the minutes from the last meeting. Could I have a motion to approve any errors or omissions in the minutes? And I'll declare them approved as submitted. Number five, reports of town departments. Is Nick here?
No, I was going, the report for Nick, he couldn't make it today because we had to postpone our meeting for today. And so he had given his report is in the package.
Right.
And if there's any questions from that, we can send an email out to Nick there.
Okay.
But it is posted in the package.
It's in the package.
It is.
It's in it. Okay, we'll move on to the fire department report. I guess we're going to call on Deputy Fire Chief Cal Purdy.
Good evening. The Oxford Fire Department responded to 19 emergency calls during the month of September. 9 medical related calls, 1 structure fire, 4 MVAs, 1 commercial fire alarm, 1 smoke sighting, 1 vehicle fire, and 2 mutual aid calls assisting our neighboring departments. We had 5 members attend a motor vehicle extrication course this weekend gone by in Pugwash. It was a great success. I learned a lot of hands-on skills. And truck 5 has been repaired and is now back in service.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Deputy Chief? Okay, good, well, thank you. 5.3 municipal activity leader, Councillor McNutt presented.
So, Jimmy is not here tonight because we are having a volunteer recruitment meeting over yonder. So we're hoping to get some new recruits, and if anybody watching is interested in helping with the Recreation Commission, please get a hold of Jimmy or I or anyone in the group. Busy few weeks and months coming up. We had a Truth and Reconciliation walk on September 30th. The last meeting, he talked about the walkability plan. That's still, he's still meeting about that. The anti-racism charter that was signed, and he's still working on that as well. Upcoming events. So we have the Scarecrow, I guess we'll call it a contest. To celebrate the fall season, the Oxford Recreation Commission is inviting local businesses and community members to participate in a scarecrow display contest. We would like to see your scarecrows outside or inside your business. The best scarecrow will be recognized, and we're asking you to display your scarecrows between October 16th and 27th. So hopefully very soon we'll start to see scarecrows. We're also having a Halloween costume swap. This is to save money, but also to help the environment. So if anybody is going through old Halloween costumes and you don't want them anymore, you can drop them off to Town Hall. And we are going to be at the Fire Hall next Wednesday, October 18th from 6 to 7, and you can pick up a free Halloween costume. You do not have to drop off a costume, you can just come and pick up a costume. So especially to all our newcomers who maybe don't realize that we take Halloween very seriously in this province, in this country, by all means, drop by and get a free Halloween costume. There'll be some adult sizes and some kid sizes and whatever. This weekend, Saturday, October 14th, there will be a 3-on-3 ball hockey tournament at the tennis courts. It is for 18 plus. Team fees are $120, maximum 6 players per team. For more information, get a hold of Jimmy at the Town Hall. Next Monday, October 16th, pickleball and basketball starts back up at OREC. It is from 8 to 9 p.m. and it's $2 per person. Also, just promoting other groups in town, the Nazarene Church has a community game night the last Friday of every month at 6:30. And that's down at the church. All community members welcome. And then I think the last thing he has here, Jimmy is doing the walking group, still meeting at the gazebo, Wednesday, October 11th and October 18th, 30-minute gentle walk, suitable for anyone. Okay, and the last but not least, Jimmy has created a survey, which is on Facebook, or you can get actual copies here in town, and it's a recreation, culture, and leisure survey, and it's just some questions about what you would like to see in the town as far as recreation goes. And I think that's it. And then there's a meeting tonight, but it's too late for anyone, because it's literally right now.
Yeah.
And that's it for Jimmy and the Recreation Commission.
Thank you, Councillor McNutt. Does anyone have any questions for the councillor? Okay, we will move on. Administration Department reports, Linda Cloney presenting.
Thank you. So for administration, we've had quite a few house closings in the past month for September. Still processing senior tax rebate forms. Those are still available for anyone to apply. They're here. Come see Kathy here at the desk. Water meters the data has been collected. If not, there may be a few more left to collect. So they're currently starting the process of the water billings right now. Water restatement notices have been processed and sent out. We have the tax bills, the second interim was just, the due date has come by, and so a lot of dealings with the banks regarding that, regarding missing tax bill payments and stuff like that. So we've been working through those and processing all the final payments from all the banks. Also, a fair bit of work's been on the revision of the tax and water collection policy and tax sale documentation as well. So those are just a few of the highlights.
Okay.
for the admin.
Anyone have any questions for our CEO regarding what's going on? Go ahead,
I have a
Councilor.
question. Will there be another tax sale this fall?
We're looking at that process now, so where the tax due date just happened here, we're going through the receivables now, and we're looking at starting a preliminary notice.
Excellent. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to solid waste education and contract coordinator report. Linda?
Thank you. So that would be Brenda Ryu. We contract her through the municipality of Cumberland as well as the town of Amherst, and so she works with us as well. So she provides a report for us, and so the report is included in the council package, but rather than reading it verbatim, there's a really interesting one, the Mobius Awards. Divert Nova Scotia is hosting the annual Mobius Awards of Environmental Excellence in November. The regions are required to submit nominations. Cumberland County Solid Waste nominated Oxford residents Maxine and Ali Clark for their cleanup efforts throughout the community.
Oh, wonderful.
So just to put that out there, so congratulations for the nomination. So see how far she goes there.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Linda regarding the solid waste? Okay, could I have a motion to accept these reports from town departments?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Colburn, seconded by Councilor Black. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Reports and committees on board. Reports of committees and boards. Linda presenting.
Thank you, Your Worship. So the library has a board and committee, which Councillor Black sits on there. So we have Denise Corey, I think she's the chief librarian for Cumberland County. She puts together a report for us. So out of her report, again, it's attached in a council package for anyone to review. But we had a summer reading club, it's known as SRC. And so Oxford had 28 kids registered, and they submitted a total of 876 ballots into these prizes. And the prizes were amazing. They were like, there was Nintendo Switches, bikes, $100 gift cards, and gift packs. Rapid tests are still available, so Cumberland Public Libraries is still distributing COVID-19 tests in all the locations. In the month of July, the library signed out over 14,000 items, 603 items in the Oxford Library alone. That includes books, movies, TV shows, magazines, ebooks, and more. Also in July, Oxford Libraries offered 5 programs with 44 people in attendance, so that's pretty good for Oxford. The Oxford Library had 345 in-person visits. So they will have a board meeting coming up November 21st.
So for those people who don't think libraries are important,
They
Yeah.
are,
300, what was that, 345 people in 1 month?
yes, in the month of July.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they still have their free menstrual products there
Oh,
too,
okay.
at the libraries.
Excellent. Thank you, Linda.
Thank
Do
you.
we need a motion to accept that
We
report?
do.
Okay, could I have a motion to accept that report?
So moved.
Seconder? Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Items of discussion and correspondence. News release, municipal affairs housing. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, thank you.
Give us a quick rundown.
Yes, so this year report, we did apply into the council package as well. 16 projects were awarded under the Provincial Capital Assistance Program and received a total of $703,762. So Minister Lohr, he quoted, "This funding will support key projects that make a difference for communities and residents. Access to safe drinking water, wastewater treatment, and addressing flood risk are vital for building strong, vibrant communities and supporting continued economic growth." So out of the capital assistance program, it funds up to 50% of project costs. So Oxford was one of the recipients, which we had addressed earlier, but it's now in a news release, and the town of Oxford was awarded $27,526 for the Foundry Street Water Main Replacement Project for the design of engineering. So that's, it's just in a news release, so it's a public document to be shared.
Thank you.
And the other towns are all listed there as well. So, and also there's discussion regarding the Municipal Innovation Program.
Okay, any questions for Linda regarding that? Let's move on to volunteer of the year, Heather McDonald.
Yes, so proud to say Heather McDonald is the Volunteer of the Year representing for Oxford. She just recently attended an award ceremony. So I'm going to read off a little biography that we have for Heather. So during Heather's 25-year teaching career, she gave 110% to her students, while also volunteering for student council and safe grant communities. She has been involved with the Oxford Lionettes for more than 40 years, being a huge champion for the Christmas food boxes. She has given countless hours to various church committees and is instrumental in providing a worship space for the Muslim community during Ramadan. Heather has also been an advocate for the department and maintenance of the Oxford Area Food Bank. So congratulations.
Before we jump to the next item on the list, I just want to acknowledge Maxine and Al Clark. They were awarded by the Nova Scotia Recreation a Build Development Award, I think it's called.
Yes.
And they're down in Digby, I believe, right now, accepting that award. So congratulations to Al and Maxine for all your good work on the bunny trail. Next up, 7.3 OREC Career Fair, October 25th.
So that fair is being organized by the Cumberland Business Connector. The Cumberland Business Connector has partnered with the Oxford Regional Education Center to host a career fair on the morning of October 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at their school. The goal of the event is to highlight the many excellent career and employment opportunities and pathways available to students after graduation without necessarily leaving their community. So we're trying to keep the youth here. The event is designed to expose students to a variety of options that exist, talk to people in those fields, and narrow down pathways that are of interest to them. The focus is not focused on filling current job vacancies, but is geared towards inspiring students to expand their ideas on what career paths they could take in our region. So this is something that's an event that's coming up on October 25th. If you happen to be a business or a local business around that is interested, there are tables that you just contact the Cumberland Business Connector or the school. They can assist you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. 7.4 Made to Be On campaign.
Okay, so when I was organizing the package, the campaign was being organized, but officially yesterday, they actually launched. So I'm going to update everybody. The information I had before is included in the package, but so just to the latest and the greatest is that they're pleased to announce that they have launched their Made to Be On campaign on October 10th, which was yesterday. They love for everyone to share the word and amplify the messages with anybody's network. Many people use their local trails every day without realizing they are part of a coast-to-coast trail network. This campaign aims to let people know that the Trans-Canada Trail helps build connections and encourages people to get out on the Trans-Canada Trail and visit our new interactive story map, where everyone can share a photo of their local trail and pin themselves on the map. They're also running a contest to encourage these entries. So this information is on our website under the council package. If anyone's interested, you can watch, there's a video to watch, how to upload onto the interactive map. There's also a promotion toolkit that's there for anyone to help promote it. So anyways, great job on the trails and getting this together. So.
Okay, any questions? We'll move right along. Pop-up contingency offices and or town hall meetings.
Okay. So this is kind of old news. It should have went out yesterday.
Yeah,
But we
okay.
had our meetings yesterday, but tonight there is a town hall meeting at the Pugwash Fire Hall from 6 until 7:30. So there's an hour left if you want to get to the Pugwash Fire Hall. But to meet Stephen Ellis, our MP for Cumberland Colchester.
Okay, next up, boards and committees and election of deputy mayor.
Okay, so this is a two-part. I think on everybody's desk, I gave everyone an up-to-date list of the boards and committees for consideration. So in October, this is when we would decide if you want to stay or if you want to move, or, interest is somewhere else, or maybe you got too much on your plate. So this is a time for us to relook at who's where, and maybe you want to change, not be chair, maybe you don't want, be a member instead. So anyways, this is for review and will be brought up at our October council meeting. Okay, but this is just for some time to think and to let the mayor know if you'd like to switch or anything like that, so.
We will have to make a change to our recreation commission, so just remind me and we'll do that.
Absolutely, so our October council meeting, perfect, yes. Now, part 2 of that is deputy mayor. So we have a deputy mayor policy. So under number 2, in non-election years, council shall select a deputy mayor at its October council meeting to hold office from November 1st of that year until October 31st of the following calendar year. Next year is our election year as well, in 2024. So the election of the deputy mayor shall be placed on the council agenda, and the term ending would be for October 31st of the following calendar year. So starting November 1st. So anyways, just putting that out there for consideration, for thought and everything. And that's all I have for that, unless there's questions.
No questions, we'll move on. Tax sale policy.
Okay, so at our last meeting, the council meeting here 2 weeks ago, we had mentioned a few changes that we wanted to make to update, to make it more current and to match up with the MGA, Municipal Government Act, regarding tax sale and water collection, as well as also the county has been a great role model on how they conduct their tax sales as well. And we had a successful one here recently in the spring. So that being said, so we had mentioned 2 of the changes last time, was talking about the purpose, item 4, providing staff with equitable guidelines for informed, sustainable decision-making and legal guidelines to staff and the public consistent with the town's organizational values of excellence and fiscal responsibility, ensuring all taxpayers are served well and fairly. We also added in terms for definitions for what immediate family and lien are. Also, what was changed, and this was already discussed at our last council meeting, number 18, under properties and tax sale position, which reads, the town of Oxford will not accept a tender bid from a tax-assessed owner, his, her agent, and or his, her immediate family for any sum less than the full amount of taxes, interest, and expenses associated with respect to the land. So since we had that meeting, we had been talking a little bit more here at the administration, and we noted number 12 should be changed, word should be changed. Instead of saying by September 30th of each year, it should say after. The reason for that change is our taxes are not due until September 30th. So we don't have time, the taxes could be collected, so it will be after September 30th before we can review the taxes for who's in tax sale position. So to us, that makes sense. Number 15 is the other change. It's what we would like to see read is after 60 calendar days from the preliminary notice on each property still in tax sale position, except in the case there has been a payment arrangement negotiated. So number 15, we'd like to change the words for that. So that we have set up a marked up version in our council package, which is online for anyone to review. And I would like to bring this to the October council meeting for passing of this policy. Okay.
So after 60 days of non-payment.
Yes, from the preliminary notice. We're going to give a preliminary notice, which for 60 days. And then if there's nothing from there, they proceed to the next step of the tax sale process.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Linda regarding that issue? Okay, that's just about everything on our agenda for the Cal meeting. I just want to remind everybody that after we're holding a special council meeting as soon as this meeting is over, and then after that, we're having a, what is it?
Road Trails Act Committee meeting.
Okay, gonna follow the special council meeting. With that, I will declare meeting adjourned for the Cal meeting.
Just one note, November.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I'm corrected. No, November's Cal meeting will be held on Tuesday, November the 14th. Due to the Remembrance Day holiday, it won't be on Monday, it'll be on Tuesday. Monday will be the holiday here at the town hall. So we'll have Cal meeting November 14th on a Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Hopefully you can join us. And with that, meeting adjourned. Okay, we start the next one?
Are we
Yes,
up
we're
there?
going right into,
Are we up there?
no, we're still on because we're in regular,
We're going into a council meeting now.
yes.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting, special meeting of Oxford Town Council to order. You've all got a copy of the agenda. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by.
Which agenda?
Okay, moved. Do we have a seconder? Seconded, moved and seconded. Motion carried. Could I have a motion to quit camera, please?
So moved.
Seconder, moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. We are now going in camera.